Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Every Day.
We are so happy you are here with us today.
Today, we are talking about a question many adults ask at some point in life.
Should people change careers more than once?
Maybe you studied one subject, started one job, and then realized your interests changed.
Or maybe you are good at your current work, but a small voice inside says, there may be something else for me.
This is a very real topic, especially in a world where industries change quickly.
And of course, it is also a great topic for learning powerful English phrases for opinions, decisions, risk, and personal growth.
In this episode, we will give you useful vocabulary, realistic conversations, and natural ways to express both excitement and uncertainty.
So grab your coffee, open your notebook, and let us explore whether changing careers more than once can be a smart move.
Let us begin by looking at why this question matters in modern working life. When we ask whether people should change careers more than once, we are not only talking about jobs.
Right, we are talking about identity, money, confidence, family expectations, and the fear of starting again.
A career is more than a task you do from Monday to Friday. It can shape how you introduce yourself.
For example, someone might say, I am a teacher, I am an engineer, or I am a designer. Those labels can feel very personal.
That is why changing careers can feel exciting and frightening at the same time.
It can feel like opening a new door, but also leaving a familiar room.
Our first useful phrase is career change. A career change means moving from one professional field or path to another.
For example, a lawyer becomes a product manager. A nurse becomes a health writer. A sales assistant becomes a software developer.
Notice that we usually say make a career change, consider a career change, or go through a career change.
You could say, I am considering a career change because I want more creative work.
Or she made a career change after 10 years in finance.
The second phrase is transferable skills. These are skills you can use in many different careers.
Communication, problem solving, leadership, writing, teamwork, and organizing information can all be transferable skills.
This phrase is very useful in interviews. You might say, my teaching experience gave me transferable skills in communication and planning.
The third phrase is to start from scratch. This means to begin again from the very beginning.
Many people are afraid of changing careers because they think they will have to start from scratch.
But that is not always true. Your past experience usually comes with you.
Exactly. You may start in a new industry, but you are not starting life from zero.
The fourth phrase is long-term growth. Long-term growth means development that happens over several years, not only next month.
For example, a career change may reduce your salary at first, but it could support your long-term growth.
This is a mature way to discuss career decisions. It shows you are not only thinking about quick rewards.
The fifth phrase is comfort zone. Your comfort zone is the situation where you feel safe because things are familiar.
People often say, I need to step out of my comfort zone, or this opportunity pushed me out of my comfort zone.
Changing careers more than once can definitely push you out of your comfort zone.
But being uncomfortable does not automatically mean you are making a bad decision.
Sometimes discomfort is a sign that you are learning something new.
So the big question is not simply, should I change careers again?
The better question may be, does this change match my values, my skills, and my long-term growth?
That is the question our first conversation will explore.
Now let us listen to Michael and Nicole talk honestly about a possible second career change.
Thanks for meeting me after work, Nicole. I really needed to talk this through.
Of course. You sounded serious in your message. What is going on?
I am thinking about making another career change.
Another one. You moved from banking to marketing only 4 years ago, right?
Yes, and that is exactly why I feel nervous. I do not want people to think I cannot commit.
I understand. But wanting something different does not mean you are unreliable.
Maybe the new opportunity is in user experience research. It sounds fascinating.
That actually makes sense for you. You have always been curious about why customers make decisions.
True, in marketing, my favorite part is interviewing customers and finding patterns in their answers.
That sounds like a transferable skill. You already know how to listen, analyze, and explain what people need.
I hope so, but I worry that I would have to start from scratch.
You might have to learn new tools, but that is not the same as starting from scratch.
That is a good distinction. New tools are learnable. A completely new professional identity feels harder.
Maybe you do not need to see it as a new identity. Maybe it is an evolution of what you already do.
An evolution, I like that. It sounds less dramatic.
Exactly. You moved from banking to marketing because you wanted more creativity. Now you want deeper customer insight.
When you say it that way, it sounds connected. It does not sound random.
That connection matters. A career change can be strategic, not impulsive.
The salary might be lower at first, though.
That is important. Have you thought about your financial situation for the next year?
Yes, I have some savings, but I would need to be careful.
Then maybe the question is whether the short-term sacrifice supports your long-term growth.
That phrase helps. Short-term sacrifice, long-term growth.
Also, you do not have to quit tomorrow. Could you take an online course or do a small project first?
That would help me test the waters.
Exactly. You can step out of your comfort zone without jumping off a cliff.
That is a powerful image. I think I have been imagining the decision as all or nothing.
Most big decisions have middle steps. You can research, network, volunteer, interview people, and build confidence gradually.
I feel calmer now. I still have doubts, but they feel more manageable.
Doubts are normal. The goal is not to remove every doubt. The goal is to make an informed decision.
I like that. I am going to list my transferable skills tonight and compare them with user experience roles.
That sounds practical. And remember, changing careers more than once does not mean you are lost.
Maybe it means I am paying attention to what I am becoming.
That is a beautiful way to put it.
Let us break down the first conversation and study the useful language inside it. Michael says, I really needed to talk this through. To talk something through means to discuss it carefully until it feels clearer.
This is such a useful phrase when you have a complicated decision. You can say, "Can I talk this through with you?"
Notice the word through. It suggests movement from confusion to clarity.
Nicole also says, "That actually makes sense for you." This is a gentle way to show support.
Instead of saying, yes, do it, she says the decision matches Michael's personality and experience.
You can use this in many situations. That course makes sense for you. That team makes sense for you. That role makes sense for you.
Another important phrase is transferable skill. Nicole says Michael already knows how to listen, analyze, and explain what people need.
That is a smart way to reduce fear. Instead of focusing only on what he lacks, she helps him see what he already has.
Then Michael says, I worry that I would have to start from scratch. This is a common fear in career change.
A useful alternative is, I am concerned I would be going back to square one.
Going back to square one is similar to starting from scratch. It means returning to the beginning.
But Nicole gives him a more balanced thought. She says, you might have to learn new tools, but that is not the same as starting from scratch.
That sentence is excellent because it separates a real challenge from an exaggerated fear.
Learners can copy that pattern. You might have to do something difficult, but that is not the same as failing.
Another beautiful phrase is an evolution of what you already do. Evolution means gradual development.
This phrase is more positive than saying, I am changing everything again. It sounds connected and mature.
Finally, Nicole says you can step out of your comfort zone without jumping off a cliff.
That means you can take a brave step without taking a reckless risk.
So the key lesson is this: good English helps you describe career change with nuance, not panic.
Now let us explore the risks of changing careers more than once and how to talk about timing wisely. So far, career change sounds exciting and meaningful, but we should be honest. It can also be risky.
Yes, a career change can affect your income, your confidence, your schedule, and your family responsibilities.
That is why the next set of phrases is about making thoughtful decisions, not emotional decisions.
Our first phrase is weigh the pros and cons. This means to compare the advantages and disadvantages before deciding.
For example, I need to weigh the pros and cons before leaving my current role.
Pros are positive points, cons are negative points. Simple words, but very useful in professional conversations.
The second phrase is a calculated risk. This means a risk that you take after thinking carefully and preparing.
A calculated risk is not wild or careless. You understand the danger, but you also see the opportunity.
You might say, moving into a new field is a calculated risk, but I have savings and a clear plan.
The third phrase is to pivot. In career language, to pivot means to change direction while using something from your previous experience.
For example, a journalist may pivot into content strategy. A teacher may pivot into corporate training.
Pivot is usually more flexible and less dramatic than completely change careers.
The fourth phrase is to align with your values. This means something matches what is important to you.
For example, I want work that aligns with my values, or this company aligns with my values around creativity and service.
This phrase is especially useful when money is not the only factor.
The fifth phrase is red flag. A red flag is a warning sign that something may be wrong.
For example, if the company has high employee turnover, that could be a red flag.
Now let us talk about common mistakes. One mistake is saying, I changed my career when you mean I changed careers.
Both can be understood, but I changed careers sounds more natural when you moved from one field to another.
Another mistake is saying, I shifted to another job when you mean a larger professional change.
A better sentence is, I pivoted into a new field, or I moved into a different industry.
One more mistake is sounding too certain when you are actually uncertain.
Instead of saying, this is the perfect decision, you could say, this seems like a strong next step based on what I know now.
That sounds more careful, more professional, and more realistic.
So in the next conversation, listen for these phrases. Weigh the pros and cons, calculated risk, pivot, align with my values, and red flag.
Now let us hear Adam and Sky discuss a career change from a practical and professional point of view.
Sky, can I ask you something career-related?
Of course, what is on your mind?
I have been offered a chance to move from project management into sustainability consulting.
That sounds interesting. Are you excited about it?
I am excited, but I am also cautious. It would be my second major career pivot.
That makes sense. What was your first pivot?
I started in operations, then moved into project management. Now this role would take me into a more specialized field.
Do you feel the new role aligns with your values?
Yes, I care about climate issues, and I want my work to have a bigger social impact.
That is important, but have you weighed the pros and cons?
I have started. The pros are meaningful work, stronger future opportunities, and a team I respect.
And the cons?
The learning curve is steep, and the salary is about 10% lower for the first year.
That is not small, but it is not automatically a deal breaker.
Exactly. I am trying to decide whether it is a calculated risk or a mistake.
What preparation have you done so far?
I completed a certificate course, spoke with 3 people in the field, and reviewed the job responsibilities carefully.
That sounds more like a calculated risk than a random jump.
I hope so. Still, I am worried that employers might see too many changes on my resume.
You can explain the story clearly. Operations taught you systems. Project management taught you leadership. Sustainability consulting uses both.
That is a much better narrative.
A career path does not have to be a straight line. It just needs a clear thread.
A clear thread, I like that. The thread is helping organizations improve how they operate.
Exactly. Sustainability consulting is not separate from that. It is a focused version of it.
There is one red flag, though. The company expects a lot of travel.
How much travel are we talking about?
They said maybe 40%, but one former employee told me it can feel closer to 60%.
That is worth clarifying before you accept. Travel can affect your health and relationships.
I agree. I plan to ask the hiring manager for specific examples of recent travel schedules.
Good. That is a professional way to investigate a red flag without sounding negative.
I also want to ask about mentoring. If I pivot, I will need guidance during the first few months.
That is smart. Support matters when you enter a new field.
So maybe the answer is not, should I change careers again? It is, what conditions would make this change healthy and sustainable?
That is a very strong question. It shows you are thinking like a professional, not chasing a fantasy.
Thanks, Sky. I feel more prepared to continue the conversation with the company.
You are welcome. A second career change can be wise when the reason is clear and the plan is realistic.
Now let us compare simpler English with more natural professional English for career decisions. In conversation 2, Adam does not speak in a dramatic way. He sounds thoughtful, balanced, and professional.
That is a big difference between B1 and B2 English. At B1, you can express the basic idea. At B2, you can express nuance.
For example, a B1 speaker might say, "I want a new job because I do not like my old job."
That is clear, but it sounds simple and maybe too negative.
A B2 version could be, "I am considering a career pivot because I want work that better aligns with my long-term goals."
Much better, it is specific, respectful, and future-focused.
Another B1 sentence might be, "I am scared because the new job is hard."
A stronger B2 sentence is, "I am cautious because the learning curve is steep."
The learning curve is steep means something will take time and effort to learn.
It sounds more professional than just saying hard.
Let us talk about softeners. Softeners are words or phrases that make your opinion sound less aggressive.
Instead of saying, "Oh, this is a bad idea," you can say, "I have some concerns about this decision."
Instead of saying, "You must change careers," you can say, "It might be worth exploring a career change."
The phrase "might be worth" is very useful. It suggests an idea without forcing it.
Now let us fix a common grammar issue. Learners sometimes say, "I am considering to change careers."
The correct pattern is consider plus noun or consider plus gerund. So say, "I am considering a career change," or "I am considering changing careers."
Another mistake is, "I discussed about my career change." In English, discuss does not need about.
Say, "I discussed my career change with a mentor," or "I talked about my career change with a mentor."
Great comparison. Discuss something but talk about something.
One final B2 upgrade is using condition language. Adam says, "What conditions would make this change healthy and sustainable?"
That is much stronger than simply asking, "Should I do it or not?"
It helps you think in a more practical way. Maybe you can change careers if you have savings, support, training, and clear information.
So B2 English is not only bigger vocabulary. It is calmer thinking, clearer structure, and more precise meaning.
Let us review the most useful ideas, vocabulary, and grammar from today's episode. Today we explored the question, should people change careers more than once?
And our answer was not a simple yes or no. It depends on your reasons, your preparation, and your long-term growth.
We learned career change, which means moving from one professional path to another.
We learned transferable skills, such as communication, leadership, research, planning, and problem-solving.
We learned start from scratch and go back to square one, both of which describe beginning again from the start.
But we also learned that most career changers do not truly start from zero. Their experience comes with them.
We talked about long-term growth, which helps you think beyond immediate comfort or immediate salary.
We also studied comfort zone, and the idea that stepping out of it can be healthy when you do it carefully.
In the second half, we learned weigh the pros and cons, a calculated risk, pivot, align with your values, and red flag.
Those phrases help you sound thoughtful when you discuss big decisions in English.
We also fixed grammar mistakes. Say, I am considering changing careers, not I am considering to change careers.
And remember, discuss something, but talk about something.
The first conversation showed Michael realizing that his possible career change was not random. It was an evolution.
The second conversation showed Adam asking smarter questions about risks, travel, mentoring, and sustainability.
So the main message is this. People can change careers more than once when the change is connected, prepared, and meaningful. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of English Podcast Every Day.
We hope this conversation helped you think about career change with more confidence and better English.
Before you go, try writing one sentence with the phrase transferable skills.
And one more sentence with a calculated risk. These phrases are powerful and very useful.
If this episode helped you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
And tell us in the comments, do you think changing careers more than once is brave, risky, or sometimes necessary?
Thank you for learning with us today.
See you in the next episode, and keep practicing every day.